G'day, I'm Kevin. I've retired from work in Australia and am living the dream. Here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, the journey continues. This is 52 weeks. Good morning and welcome to Vientiane in Laos. I got here last night. I have to say the visa on arrival process here was much quicker than Jakarta. Had to fill out a form which took a little bit of time, but at least I had the form to keep me busy. And then it's just a matter of walking up to the window and you give them the form, your passport, and 40,000, no, what was it, dollars? I'm getting confused with currencies. 40 US dollars, 40 US dollars, and then they just kind of went along the road, along the bench. They had a system with somebody has something and they pass it to the next person, pass it to the next person, and then you get your name called out with your visa and your stamp and you're on your way. So that was actually very simple. So this morning I'm just going for a wander along the river, the Mekong River, in case you were wondering. Yeah, it's a pretty kind of relaxed town. So yeah, I'm going to have a relaxed time here. I have a couple of weeks, so I won't be rushing about. The aim here is just to take it easy and spend some time, see a few of the sights, but mostly take it easy. That is Thailand, over the other side of the river. So close I can breathe the air. I was there briefly in transit in Bangkok while I was changing planes, but this is a much more pleasant view than the airport. So the plan this morning, as so far as there is a plan, is just to walk along the river and see what I can see. So that's what I'm doing. There was a nice walk along the river. There's been a bit of rain recently, including yesterday. So it's a bit humid today. Wow. Big savage boy. Yeah, a bit humid. But not a bad walk nonetheless. So I'm just wending my way back now. If I find somewhere for a drink I might stop off, but just having a wander through a back lane, not far from the river. Well, I must say, this is a very relaxed town. Of all the capital cities I've been in Southeast Asia, this is certainly the most peaceful. I am wandering along a pretty busy road at the moment, but it kind of comes in spurts. Sometimes there's a lot. You might just hear that the traffic noise is different because the spurt is over. But yeah, all in all, quite a relaxed place. Pretty easy to get around. And to round out the day, I have come down to the night market by the river. You couldn't tell. It's over that way, but you can't see it. This night market is actually more like a local night market than a tourist one, which, although I'm a tourist, I like. So I'm going to have a wander. Well, I did manage to find the river. That's Thailand on the other side there, doing whatever Thailand's doing tonight. And just up here, here's a little carnival, which is part of the night market on the Laos side of the river. Well, there's plenty going on tonight in the tourist areas anyway. I don't know what the rest of the town's like, but there's lots happening. Well, that's the back of the night market, and the entrance to this end is here. It's pretty big. I will wander back through it. Vientiane, in many ways, is quite like Chiang Mai, not the least of which is the fact that there's a whole set of temples clustered around kind of central town area. So I thought I'd just have a relaxed day wandering in the temples. The temperature is still warm, but is not quite as humid as yesterday, so the walking is not too bad so far. I've made my way out to the furthest temple, and I'm going to make my way back to the cluster near my hotel, just stopping at a couple of places along the way, and yeah, just take it easy. Those of you that follow my fashion decisions closely may notice that I'm wearing a different shirt to when I started this tour of temples. And that's because what I thought might be a one-day exploring temples has actually turned into 2 days. So I'm wearing a different shirt. There are a lot of temples within walking distance of my hotel, and I'm not seeing all of them by any means. So if you like exploring temples, Vientiane is a good spot. That's the view from my window this morning. A bit overcast and rainy today. It's only just stopped raining. It's been kind of slow, steady rain all night. In actual fact, it's still raining now that I look to my left. Don't know if you can see it, but it's still raining. That's the result of Kajiki. I don't know if you've been following that, but big storm hitting Vietnam and coming across. So today is Sunday, and because of the weather and because it's Sunday, I'm just planning on having a lazy, rainy Sunday today. Won't get out too much, might go for a bit of a local wander to get something to eat later. Fortunately, my hotel that I'm staying in is very civilized, and on Saturdays and Sundays they open up the breakfast a little bit later, so I'm going down for a late breakfast. Well, that was a very pleasant and leisurely breakfast. I don't normally do hotel breakfasts. I prefer to organise it myself. But I decided to give it a go at this hotel, and very happy to have done so. They do very good breakfasts. It's actually quite a small place, so you know, there's not hundreds of people barging to the buffet. But yeah, it was very pleasant. It has been consistently raining all morning. At the moment it has not quite stopped, but stopped sufficiently to get out and about. So I thought I'd take the opportunity to just do a little bit of a walk in the local area around the hotel, which I've done a little bit of, but not a lot. So I'm going to have an explore. I will say that the rain has cooled things down quite a lot. If the sun comes out, it'll be very humid and unpleasant. But at the moment, it's really nice. I was right. When the sun comes out, it is very, very steamy. And at the moment, it's alternating between the sun popping out from behind a cloud and a light rainfall. And there's the occasional breeze, which is the pleasant part. However, despite the humidity, the atmosphere is quite nice in this section of town. There's a lot of work going on in the footpaths, so Yes, if you come here in a couple of months, there'll be less construction, much easier to get around. I guess. But yeah, plenty of places to grab something to eat or sit down and have a drink. So yeah, bit of a nice wander for a lazy day. Well, it's actually pretty quiet because it's a Sunday, and maybe because it's raining a bit as well. A few of the shops and stuff are not open today, but still, as I say, quite a pleasant atmosphere. I'm actually heading back to my hotel. It's kind of late-ish mid-afternoon at the moment, so I'm going to head back and have a bit of a lounge. It is supposed to start raining in earnest again sometime this afternoon, and I can feel a few droplets on my head now, and I can't see any sun patches, so this may be the beginning of it. In fact, I can feel it getting a little more insistent as I'm going along. I do have an umbrella with me, so that's a good thing. It is more of an emergency umbrella than a long walk umbrella, but it should be enough to get me back to the hotel. So yeah, I'll make my way back and hopefully get there before it settles into a good solid rain. Thanks for joining me on my travels. I really appreciate your company. Now, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video and are not subscribed, you might like to consider doing so by clicking here. Or, if you just want to see something else I've made, click here for something you might like. And if you're really looking for a binge, click here and that will take you to one of my playlists. Hope to see you again soon.